My boyfriend of 6 years randomly disappeared while I was out of town for work, leaving no indication of where he went or why. Last Tuesday evening I, 32 female, came home from being out of town for 2 weeks for work. My boyfriend, 35 male, Nate, was supposed to pick me up from the airport, but once I got in, I wasn't able to get a hold of him and he never showed up. I was a little annoyed but not too worried because I figured he had fallen asleep. When I talked to him earlier that morning, he said he didn't sleep very well the night before, and he was going to lay down before he had to come get me, so I called my sister for a ride home. When I got home, Nate was nowhere to be found. I checked the garage and his car was gone, so I sent him a text asking where he was and headed upstairs to unpack. When I opened the closet to put my things away, I saw that almost all of his clothes were gone. At this point I'm confused, so I start calling him. It just keeps ringing and then going to voicemail. I check his office and everything is still there. Everything in the house is still there and in place except his clothes and his car. I'm really starting to freak out at this point, so I call my sister and she comes over and we both try calling and messaging him and still get no answer. His computer and his laptop are both still in his office. I logged onto his computer and my sister his laptop. I know all his passwords, but we didn't find anything out of the ordinary, so I started searching his desk and found his iPad in the top drawer. I logged into it and checked everything I could think of and found nothing out of the ordinary. My sister suggested checking the Find My iPhone app on his iPad to see if we find out where his phone was. We logged into the app and see that his phone was pinging in the next state over, so I started calling him again but still got no answers to my calls or text. I really start to lose it here. My mind starts going all over the place trying to figure out what could be going on. I called the police because I think someone has to have done something to him. The police came out but they said there wasn't much they could do because he hasn't been gone long and his clothes missing was sign that he left on his own violation. Over the last few days I've done everything I can to contact him. He doesn't have any family except for a brother that he cut ties with before I met him. I found him online and sent him a message but he said he hasn't seen or heard from Nate in years. I keep checking his phone's location and since Saturday morning it has been pinging in the same location in the PNW. I took off work for the rest of the week and my sister and I are flying up there to go to the location his phone is pinging. Has anyone ever dealt with something like this before? How do I even confront him? What if he is with another woman? What if he isn't there, or worse? I am so lost and hurt right now, my mind is all over the place. I can't think straight. I'm so lost right now. Edit to add, yes, I have called or messaged all of his friends. None of them have seen or heard from him. I do have access to his bank account as we have a joint account but not his business account. He last used his debit card Friday night in a town west of Seattle, Washington. He owns his own business but has taken a step back over the last year so he doesn't communicate with them regularly. They haven't heard from him since last month. I am 5 months pregnant and we have known for 3 months. He did become a bit reserved and withdrawn since we found out, but it's not uncommon for him to do that every so often, especially around this time of year. I don't truly believe that he would abandon me and his child. That's just not the type of man he is, but I don't know what to think anymore. Small update. First, I just want to say thank you to everyone for suggesting the welfare check epically. We called at the department where his phone is pinging and they have sent someone over to see if they can make contact with him. It's been over an hour and we are still waiting to hear back. I am hopeful but still have an overbearing sense of dread. All I want to know right now is that he is okay and I can figure out everything else later. I just need to know he is okay. Update. The police were able to do a welfare check and although they were unable to make direct contact with him, they spoke to the couple who live at the house. They said they were old family friends and that he was there on Friday and Saturday, but that he went to the Olympics Sunday morning to go hiking for a couple of days. The officers informed them of what was going on and they told him they believed he was okay and that they would contact me tonight to try and help explain the situation. What does that even mean? I am even more confused. Our flight to Seattle is at 9:45 a.m. tomorrow and at this point we are still going. I hope these people do call but it's been a while now and I haven't heard anything. New update. I think this will be my final update. I have to get ready and get my stuff packed for the flight in the morning. I have just spent the last hour speaking to the couple whose house he was at, and against his wishes they told me what is going on. They have known Nate since he was 12 years old. He started dating their daughter Ashley when they were in 6th grade and they continued dating all through middle school and high school. Ashley got pregnant towards the end of their senior year and they got engaged. I don't know how to even write this next part. When their son was 1.5 years old they were involved in an accident with a drunk driver. Nate was ejected from the car and Ashley and his son passed away in the accident. She said that he blames himself for it because according to him they were never supposed to be out that night and it was his fault they were. She said he withdrew from them and everyone else and that up until last Friday they hadn't heard from him since he left. She has offered to come get my sister and I from the airport in the morning and she can try to answer any questions I have while we wait for him to return. She said they know where he is. He is at the spot they spread their ashes. She said he told her that he needs to be with his son one more time before he let him go. I'm honestly in a total state of shock right now. I don't know what to think but I know he is in pain and I need to get to him and I can figure everything else out after. Thank you to all the kind people who reached out and offered your suggestions. I honestly don't think I would have this information right now if it wasn't for you all, so again thank you.